Hello, everyone. It's Gary at Soccer Pro, and today I have the honor of having Raymond Wealth with me. He is an ex-professional player. He played for the Nigerian national team and most recently has been a coach at the GPS club out in New Jersey. Today, we're going to talk about how to build confidence in youth athletes and how that helps them succeed in the game of soccer and in life. So, Raymond, welcome. Thank you for taking the time out today. And why don't you do me a favor and tell our audience a little bit more about you and your background as a professional player and most recently again with GPS.
Hello, Gary. Thank you for having me. It's my humble self, Raymond Wealth. I started playing my professional from Nigeria. I ended up in Egypt, played in Egypt, played a few months in Russia, then ended up in Mexico, played in Mexico. I'm a Mexican citizen also. So Mexico is where I stopped playing because of knee injuries. So I ended up
Mm-hmm.
going to coaching field. So when I first coached my U17 in Mexico, we had a lot of success. That was when I saw that I really have a great call to be a coach. And so I moved into US and Global Premier Soccer contacted me and I went through US coaching education with a C license holder and I've been working with GPS for past 4 years, and I coach from youth from 3 years to 19 years old.
That's a good career. You talk about building confidence in these athletes. What are some of the ways that coaches can take steps to help young players get more confident in the game and not panic when they get the ball?
Absolutely. The thing is that during my playing days, I there is this that will happen when you make a mistake, and there is something at back of your mind as a player that you like. Coach is not happy with me. Coach will be yelling at me. That moment, your mind moves from you and thinking of what somebody's thinking
Mm-hmm.
about you. You are disconnected, and there is a tendency you're going to make more mistakes.
Yep.
So, and when I see people play the game here, and when I see a kid make a mistake, I suggest people, the coaches, people around that kid should tell that kid. Like for me, my principal, I tell them, hey, make it again, make it again,
Mm-hmm.
make that mistake again. So you have to let them know that mistake is normal. And when a kid make a mistake, sometimes, or like me being a coach, when I see a player made a mistake, I would like try to call them by their name. I say, hey Jack, that is fine, that is fine, that is fine. Doesn't matter, come on, come on. And then a kid like makes a goal that they're supposed to score, and they feel like, hey, who cares? Come on. Another chance is gonna come. Stay focused, but if you don't stay focused, you're coming out. You oh, the mistake is not gonna bring me out. It's only staying focused is gonna bring me out. If not staying focused, you're gonna come out. If you make a mistake, you are in. Since you're playing, since you're fighting, keep doing what you're doing. Install that confidence in them, show them that passion, because this is what you love to do, and this is what they love to do. And you gotta bring out the best in them. So I feel so disappointed when I see a coach yelling at a kid for making a mistake. That really, that really pisses me off. Like I would like you that is yelling at this kid. Did you play the game at all? Or even if you played the game, how many World Cup did you win?
Right. And let's face it, the only people that don't make mistakes in sports or business or anything are the people that don't do anything. So the kids can sit back and ignore the attack. They can sit back and not want the ball. But if they're going
Right,
to get the ball, they're going to make mistakes.
correct.
And one of the things that I find is that it's more difficult for the kids that are closer to the goal. In other words, the strikers, they're losing the ball all the time because that's just the nature of the game. The midfield, they lose the ball less and they're expected to not lose it as much. And then, of course, the defenders, when they make a mistake, it's usually a
It's done.
score, so it's, and of course the goalkeeper is the ultimate arbiter of whether that ball is going to go in the net or not. But the further back they get, the more they have to be mentally strong that a mistake isn't really the end of the game or the end of their, career or whatever. So when you get these kids and you get them in a game and somebody scores on them, what are some of the ways that you try to get them to take their mind off of that score and get back into the game and say, okay, that's okay, that mistake's okay, let's keep moving now into the next part of the game and make up and try to get back into the game and win it?
Good. When you coaching youth teams like U12 boys, U10 boys, they are very emotional when they first conceive a goal. They don't like to when they conceive a goal, their mind they feel like it is over.
Right.
And this is the moment I try to coach my players. I tell them, hey, listen, what were you doing right? Were you doing things right? Keep doing what you're doing. This is when I step them up. I tell them, hey, listen, keep it up. Keep it out that way. Keep it up. Keep fighting. It's not over yet. I don't even let them think about the goal. I let them just have fun. Do what you're doing. Just be your normal self. Take that goal off. But another thing being a coach is not just win or lose. You need to look into the deep of the kid's life, knowing when they are connected and when they are disconnected. When the kid is being disconnected, even despite you trying to motivate them, you gotta simply bring them out. When you're putting somebody in, say, hey, listen, it's not that this kid is not doing good. He's doing well, but I'm gonna need you to step it up more. I'm gonna need you to step it up more, pass more of the ball rather than dribbling more. Shoot more of the ball rather than carrying it inside the goal. Communicate more when you get there. This is what I need you to do. Okay, go in. Then you bring the other kid out and say, hey, listen, you're going to go back again, but this was what I want you to step up. Hey, you got to promise me, you got to do that, you're going back again. Are you sure? You ready to go? Okay, fist pump. Let's go. So you find out that you find a way to really, really bring out the best in them. It's not all about yelling. It's not all about being on top of their voice. No, it's all about finding the right moment to switch them onto the positive part of the game.
That's a great point. And sometimes with kids, especially younger kids, you have to give them something simple to do so they can master it. And then they build up that confidence instead of trying to give them something too complex that they just can't get to. And it can destroy their confidence and they never get to it. But if you start to break it down and give them something simple to do to start and then master it, and then you can take them to that next step and then get them to add on that next little step into what they just mastered, and you can progress them into some sort of mastery of a more complex type of thing. And the game, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of variables. So sometimes you have to pull them back into just some simple repetition at practice so they can start to get that confidence. And even if it's shooting, let them shoot easy shots. Let them get close to the goal. Don't pull them way back and then try to get them to kick the ball and score. Get them close to the net so that they can score easily. And then you start moving them back little bit by little bit so that they can maintain that high level of competency and feel confident. It's just such an important thing. So anyhow, as you move into the older group, right? Because you're coaching younger kids to older kids. What are you finding is the difference then when you start to say, okay, younger kids maybe need more repetition, but older kids already have that ball mastery down pat more. So having them do simple things isn't going to work. How do you get them to have more confidence when you get into the teenage years or the like 17, 16, 15, 18-year-old range? What do you do for that?
When I had my U18 boys, to be precisely, these are bunch of, I would say, talent boys. But this is when you know that your skill is not really what is winning the game, is how you team up with your team,
Hmm.
how you make a better team. It's not about individual. It's not because I can dribble. There's somebody who can stop you. But is being ability to know if I'm dribbling, what is the purpose of doing that? Because everything you do has a purpose, where you want to do that, why you want to do that, when do you want to do that. There's these
Hmm.
W's that's very applicable in this age group. And the tactical this is where the tactics of the game came in, because here in America, the kids' mentality here is very forceful, like very, very, very forceful. They are trying to tell them soccer is not like that. Soccer is a game that is it's not because you are the tallest, or you because you are the strongest, or because you are
Hmm.
the skinny that make you a better player. Is simply how you use the ball, when you use the ball, where you use the ball, etc.
Hmm.
When you don't have the ball, where do you start your marking? How do you shape your marking for them? Where do you plan to push them in order to win the ball? Who is their weak player? How can you identify when they have a bad touch in order to press on that? So he has to do a lot with a mental reading of the opposite team in order to capitalize on their mistakes.
Hmm.
Then when the frustration begin to come on them, you begin to use it against them.
Right.
Which the same frustration can still happen on my own team, but it left for me to manage that frustration when it comes. So, with that being said, in this level of play, there's a lot of tactical discipline that we need to deal with.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, where do we go from here? Where is it that you think we need to be taking soccer to get to the next level? Because the U.S. is not traditionally known as a powerhouse in the world. You're coming from a different perspective. You've been around the world. You've seen what it's like in Nigeria and Russia and Mexico and all these other countries that, frankly, are ahead of the U.S. when it comes to soccer in world standings. So, how do you think we get there? What do you think we need to do to build up our
Oh
soccer
yeah,
programs to get to that standard?
in that very aspect, here is the thing. America is the world most athletic human. We
Hmm.
are very athletic here, and everybody wants to be a winner, wants to be a champion.
Yep.
That is that is the culture here. But when you come to soccer, soccer is not number one spot.
No.
And 99% of American sport is played with hand.
Yep.
99% of American sport is played with hand, and soccer is played with feet. And for soccer, and when you go to most of American game, you find out that they are all forward kind of game, forward, forward,
Mm.
forward, forward kind
Right.
of game. So when you come to soccer, you know that you don't go forward when you don't have to. You can go backward 100 times and go forward twice and make and win your game.
Right.
So it is left for you to determine when to go back, when to go side, when to go the other side before you go forward. So you find out that when a kid is growing here with the mindset of different sport in their mind, playing this, playing that, playing that. So when they come to soccer, they will try to balance the body mechanism. And trying to balance that body mechanism might be difficult. So when you come to American women's soccer, you find out that the instinct and the tenacity of athleticism is being the edge they have over other women in the world. They run straight, they run fast, they're very, very strong mental set of people, and that's what they win. But American men cannot run straight. In soccer, you don't run straight. If you run straight, you got cut off. So
Yeah.
that's why all our drills goes like a snaky kind of drills. You think you go in there, but you go in the other side. You think you go in there, you go in the other side. Now to shift people and get to this side. So for America to, can America beat the world? Yes. In any sport they want to.
Mm-hmm.
But the culture here has to begin to deal with, this is what you want to do. But for example, if I see a kid that want to play soccer, I'm very good in scouting case. If I see a kid that's very good in soccer, let this kid sleep soccer, eat soccer, drink soccer, and let's build this kid for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But when the kid get involved in too many sports, you find out that the kid will worn out, get confused in a lot of different games that they have to get engaged in.
Mm-hmm.
So I suggest practically that this country can be the best. For example, if you go to Brazil, because soccer is number one,
Yep.
so everything they do, if you want to play long tennis, is with foot. So those little touches, those little combos, those little tap, you go to a beach, volleyball is with foot.
Mm-hmm.
So all those things, the environment, the activities is created to deal with foot soccer. So there is no, you can learn, everything you learn is not from the coach. There's a things you learn on watching. There's a things you learn on just common beach soccer. There's a things you watch,
Right.
you learn on the common street soccer. When you come to a soccer trainer and coach giving you instruction, everything is not learned from there. That things you learn naturally, doing it on your own with your fellow kids. But do we have that environment here? We don't
Not
have
really.
that environment.
No, not really.
Street soccer is what a kid can develop a lot of talent from, where nobody is coaching them.
Right.
Do the thing yourself. Do it yourself. Figure it out yourself. You might be one corner watching them, seeing what they do. But when there is a coach there, hey, I want to. You see some of them begin to panic. They don't want. They want to follow coach way. No, it's not coach way. You got to be your way. The coach have to direct you.
They don't want to make a mistake too. They don't want to make
And
a mistake and get yelled at by the coach.
when they were hiding away from that, it turned out that that talent is not being exposed.
Mm-hmm. That's a big thing. I mean, fear of making mistakes, fear of having the coach come down on them, losing play time, getting pulled out of the game. You see that all the time. And really, there's nothing worse than taking a kid who's already upset that he made a mistake and then beating him up by yelling at him in public in front of the parents, in front of the team, in front of the whole thing. Save that for later. You're not helping the kid. Get him.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah. I'm always an advocate of taking that situation. And when I'm in a game, let them play, because the game is the game. If you haven't brought the coaching discipline to the game already, if they don't know what they're supposed to do already at the game, trying to explain it while they're in the game, it's too late. So let them play at the level that you've brought them to from your development and practice. And then after the game, you look at the video and you make the assessment and you show them what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. And then you build up their talent the next time you're in practice. But in the game, it's the wrong time. You're just destroying their confidence. You're making their mistakes tenfold in their mind because now you're harping on them about it. And, for me, the biggest thing with soccer is that it's a 1-0 game or a 2-1 game or a 3-2, which means 90 minutes, you're losing the ball 88, 89 minutes of the game. I know there's possession and all, but the reality is you're losing the ball more than you're doing something successful with the ball, which is scoring. So losing the ball can't be a big deal. It has to just be like, whatever, and it really is disheartening sometimes to see those going. So, okay, I don't want to get off on that rant too much because, there are also great people out there that are doing a great job with the kids and doing great video analysis and all the rest of it. So when you start comparing the difference in technology between what you see here in the US with the GPS modules, the chest modules, the video analysis versus what you saw in the rest of the world, how is the US stacking up?
US is being a little distracted because of vast majority of other sports.
Mm-hmm.
That is number one distraction we are having. If you go every neighborhood around you, you will see that if you count 10 baseball field, you might only get one soccer field.
Right.
So,
Right.
so that I'm telling you because this is UX, and this is a world of its own, and their belief is their belief.
Mm-hmm.
But something you shouldn't take, you shouldn't just take out is how lucrative soccer is, how versatile soccer is in the world, and and how unique the sport is. It's
Yeah.
not because you are too tall. It's not because you are too short. It's not because you are too skinny. It's a sport that gives anybody chance in as much as you know how to handle the ball.
I mean, that's some great insight you've brought. What do you have coming up next? I know we talked about a few things here with GPS and the fact that COVID has really decimated the whole soccer industry and made things difficult, and particularly for GPS. Where do you want to go next with your soccer career? What are you looking forward to in the 2021 timeframe?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to get my B license,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, then from there, looking forward by the grace of God, if things work out, like my papers got confirmed, I might be looking forward to working with another company, another soccer company, which want to really, really dedicate in developing the soccer from the grassroots here,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm very passionate about, and I want to see the kids sell. I want to see the kid because me, I'm a kind of coach that when I'm coaching kids, I want to also advise them on what to eat before the game, after the game, in order to shape their mindset, their body physique, and everything that has to give them sources. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very committed in that, in making sure that uh, I am not, I'm here because the Lord brought me here and I love it here, and I want to be part that make this country a great in future from soccer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I just I would love if the culture begin, no matter how much the culture love baseball or American football, if we see a kid that's good in soccer, we should rally around the kid, make sure that on and off the field they are connected to soccer. Like me being a player, I learn a lot from watching soccer. Imagine you being a player and you come home and your parents are watching baseball and
Mm-hmm.
everybody has Super Bowl, making a lot of big wave, and you're sitting watching Super Bowl. A little kid mentality could simply switch around. They
Right.
want everybody, when they see people dunk ball like that, everybody wants to be somebody like that. When they see somebody make a touchdown, people begin to say, I would want to be like that. I would want to
Right.
be like that. So this is little kids changing their mind. But I keep telling them I'm very grateful and I'm very happy that Christian Pulisic came from America.
Yep.
He's an American kid, and I'm very passionate about him as an example for every kid who wants to change the environment for himself. Do not look at what the culture is. The culture could be baseball based, football based, but you can take this soccer to anywhere. This soccer can take you anywhere. You can use it and change your environment. If one kid from your neighborhood move to Europe and become a superstar, every kid around their neighborhood will want to do the same.
Yep. Yep.
We get motivated playing soccer. Somebody like me, I get motivated playing soccer when Nigeria went to Olympic and won Olympic 1996 here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
We were a little kid. Everybody run head wide that we want to play. We want to play. Those days, if you're inside the reading, your father will say, "Hey, you're reading while your mate outside playing soccer. Go play soccer so that you can be
Right.
famous like that." So we see those competitive. Like for example, if you go to a trial and a Brazilian person came for the same trial as you came, everybody will have a kind of respect for a Brazilian player because they know there are people who always
Right.
does something good. The same thing if American women that goes outside to play for trials, because the world know American women are very strong-minded and very athleticism. It paved way for any American woman that wants to
Yep.
play soccer.
Yep.
So the cultures can help people change every little things.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, Raymond, I really appreciate you taking the time out today and sharing your experience and your philosophy on how to build confidence in youth soccer. Is there any contact number that you have if someone wants to reach you, if they have an opportunity for a coach that's looking for a new home with a B license? How could they get a hold of you?
Yeah, okay. My number is 424
Uh-huh.
9442.
All right. Well, could you say that one more time, please?
424
Uh-huh.
339 9442.
All right. Fantastic. Well, hopefully we get soccer back on track and COVID is becoming a distant memory. That'd be fantastic. And look forward to getting out on the pitch on 2021. All right. Well, thanks again, Raymond. And you have a great day and a great weekend coming up. Appreciate you out here. All right. Bye now.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.